most ridiculous reason your family wanted you to dump someone. My grandmother demanded I break up with my boyfriend because he was left-handed, claiming it meant he was touched by the devil. So I brought him to Sunday dinner and watched her try to explain her theory to our Methodist pastor who happened to be left-handed too. Jake and I had been dating for 8 months when I finally introduced him to my family at Sunday dinner. Everything was going perfectly until Grandma noticed he was eating with his left hand. She immediately stopped mid-conversation and stared at his fork like it was a weapon. "Are you left-handed, young man?" she asked in that sharp tone she used when she caught me sneaking cookies before dinner. "Yes, ma'am," Jake replied politely, not knowing he'd just confessed to devil worship according to Grandma's personal theology. Her face went completely white. She set down her own fork and turned to my mother with panic in her eyes. "Margaret, we need to talk. In the kitchen. Right now." I could hear them arguing loudly through the door, Grandma's voice getting higher and more frantic. "Left-handed people are marked by Satan. The righteous sit at God's right hand." When she came back to the table, Grandma grabbed my hands like she was staging a life-or-death intervention. "Honey, you need to end this relationship immediately. That boy bears the mark of evil." "Grandma, that's completely ridiculous. It's just genetics. The devil can influence genetics. Even the word sinister comes from the Latin word for left. This is biblical fact." Over the next few days, she called me constantly with her evidence. Bible verses taken completely out of context. Stories about medieval persecution of left-handed people because they knew the truth. The final straw came when she cornered my mother and demanded I bring Jake to church so Pastor Williams could counsel him about his spiritual affliction. Perfect. I knew exactly how to handle this situation. That Sunday morning, I brought Jake to church with us. Grandma spent the entire service shooting worried glances at him, probably expecting him to burst into flames during communion. After the service ended, I walked straight up to Pastor Williams with Jake and Grandma trailing behind me. "Pastor Williams, I'd like you to meet my boyfriend Jake. Grandma has some serious concerns about his spiritual condition." "Oh, what kind of concerns?" Pastor Williams asked warmly, extending his hand to shake Jake's. He extended his left hand because his right was holding his worn leather Bible. Grandma's mouth fell open as she watched her beloved pastor shake hands with his left. "Pastor Williams," I said innocently, "Jake is left-handed, and Grandma believes that makes him spiritually dangerous. Could you explain to her what the Bible really says about handedness?" Pastor Williams blinked in surprise, then looked at his own left hand still holding Jake's. "Well, I've been left-handed my whole life. Never seemed to interfere with my relationship with God." The color drained completely from Grandma's face. You're left-handed?" she whispered in horror. "Guilty as charged. Have been since birth. In fact, several biblical figures were left-handed. Ehud, one of the judges, was specifically noted for it, and God used him to deliver Israel from their enemies." I watched Grandma's entire worldview crumble in real time as her Satan theory collapsed. "The Bible verses you're thinking of," Pastor Williams continued gently, "use left and right metaphorically, not literally. Medieval superstitions about left-handedness aren't biblical truth." Grandma stood there completely speechless, probably trying to reconcile her Satan theory with her beloved pastor's gentle correction. Jake squeezed my hand, his left hand, and whispered quietly, "Your family is interesting." That evening after dinner, Grandma pulled me aside. Maybe I was hasty about the left-handed thing. If it's good enough for Pastor Williams. 3 months later, Jake proposed, with his left hand. Grandma cried happy tears and hugged him tightly, apparently having decided that left-handedness was pastor approved.